Over the past 5 years, I lost almost 28 kilos. I did strength training, I played sports like badminton, table tennis, tennis. I ran regularly. On paper, I was doing everything right. But one day I had to cut my workout short because of this sharp knee pain. And a thought hit me. If I keep training like this, is this even sustainable for my body long term? That moment started a chain of questions in my head, which led me to these two learning challenges: learning a yoga headstand and reading my first non academic book as an adult, the first 20 hours. This video is about why I started these learning challenges and how they'll help me with not just my brain and body but my entire approach to learning. I'm not an expert. I'm just a normal person trying to learn in public. I could wait until I can hold a yoga headstand and do a before and after transformation video. But I don't want that. I want you to see the messy middle. The injuries, the doubts, the procrastination, the restarting. My hope is, over time, when you see my video next to 20 other videos on your screen and you click on mine because you feel connected to me, you feel like this is someone you can trust. And you know I will share something honest and useful about learning and challenging myself. This is kind of long-term relationship that I want to build with you together. I can't point to one single dramatic moment, but the idea really formed around an ordinary workout. I was at the gym doing my usual strength training routine. I ended up cutting it short because of the knee hurt from lifting. It wasn't the first time. I also had ankle pain from doing squats and lunges. That day, I honestly questioned, if I continue doing this, following this same training routine, what is the state of my body in 10, 20, 30 years? I've been on a weight loss journey. Strength training helped me a lot. I loved feeling strong and seeing my muscles grow. But I don't really think that constantly increasing the weights for muscle growth is sustainable for my joints. I don't even like the bulky muscle look, and I don't want my health to be dependent on a gym and equipment forever. I want to grow older and still feel young in my body, able to run, play sports, sit on the floor and move freely. So I started thinking in problem solving mode. If this approach doesn't fit my long term health goal, what's the alternative? The only word that kept coming back to me is yoga. At the same time, there was another problem. I've always seen myself as someone who loves learning. In my head, I'm a quick learner. But my actual habits didn't match that identity. This pattern would repeat when I started reading a book. I would read 5, 10, 15 pages and forget what happened in page 1. I go back, lose motivation and eventually stop. There are about 4 books lying around my house that way. Most of my procrastination time goes into random content like shorts, long videos, and scrolling. I started to feel distracted, like I was wasting my attention and training my brain to have less focus. I had this fear. If I don't start learning and creating, I would just be a dreamer in 10 to 15 years. And that fear sat with me. At some point, I decided, okay, enough. I need a learning challenge. I started with a mental challenge. I started reading The First 20 Hours by Josh Kaufman. I watched his TEDx talk about learning new skills in 20 hours by focused practice. I loved the idea. I wanted a structure on how to learn new things. But eventually, when I started reading the book, I passed through the first 15 pages and I lost focus. The words stopped staying in my head and I couldn't move forward. So I had to shift. I thought maybe I need a physical challenge which forces me to focus daily and scares me a little and excites me a little. So I chose yoga. In yoga, there are many advanced poses that I could have chosen, but there is something in the back of my mind since childhood, which is doing a headstand. It looks impossible, it looks scary, it looks cool. Maybe that's the reason why I chose it. So, in my mind, I thought if I could do one hard thing like yoga headstand, I could prove myself that I could do many other hard things in my life. So, at that moment, I made a decision. Doing a yoga headstand will be my main challenge, and reading the book, the first 20 hours, will be my secondary and smaller challenge. Right now, I'm basically at zero with headstands. My neck, shoulders, and core don't yet have enough strength to support my whole body upside down. I'm not afraid of looking stupid in front of a camera. In fact, I want to show the ugly attempts as well. What I'm afraid of is injuring myself and ending up worse than before. I feel excited more than fear. In fact, I am more excited about learning headstand than making a perfect video out of it. My goal is simple to say and hard to do. Hold a stable headstand for at least 3 minutes. I'm willing to spend about 90 minutes a day on this challenge. Since I'm afraid of injuring myself, I don't want to rush into flinging my legs up. I want to prepare my neck, shoulders, and core properly first and build confidence gradually. I'm following a yoga YouTube channel called Prashant J Yoga for this challenge. Because Prashant J Yoga explains poses with a good understanding on human anatomy, it feels safer for me knowing that and understand what I'm asking my body to do. My plan is to start practicing every day, ideally 60 to 90 minutes. I'll use YouTube as my primary learning companion. I'll follow a progression. My neck strength, shoulder stability, and core control before actually practicing any poses. I'll treat my safety as non-negotiable. To keep myself accountable, I'll record small clips of my practice. I'll share progress updates at milestones like 10-day headstand practice, 1-minute headstand, and 3-minute headstand. If I fail or I fall or look awkward, I'll still show it. Eventually, it's all about learning, and everything is not for everyone. I already know in theory that consistency and discipline are key to learning. I wanted a clear framework to structure my learnings, something that I can use again and again for future skills. That's how I found Josh Kaufman and his TEDx talk and his book, The First 20 Hours. I liked his way of breaking down skill acquisition, and I like to learn from his experiences instead of starting from zero. For me, books are a way to compress years of someone else's experiences into few days or weeks. That's powerful. And I want to read the first 20 hours It's my first non-academic book I actually want to finish as an adult. To keep it realistic, I'm starting with around 10 pages a day, aiming for about 1 hour of reading. I'll read at a pace where I can absorb what's on the page, write down important points on notes, and tweak the plan as I go depending on my habits. I'll also capture few clips along the way, not to review the book, but to document how my focus feels, how I feel about my reading habit, and what hit me the hardest from the book. I don't plan to apply this 20-hour method directly to my headstand challenge. Instead, I want to use the ideas from this book into designing my next learning challenge, a new skill, a tool, or something creative. If the book really helps me, I would like to see it in how I design my next learning challenge, how I structure my practice sessions, and whether if I stick with the plan more consistently. And of course, I'll share those in my future videos. Because I value learning so much, books feel like one of the best deals in the world. An author spends years experimenting, living, making mistakes, and pours all of that knowledge into few hundred pages, and you get to read it in few days. Through books, I can even learn from people who are not even alive anymore. I don't want to miss that. My hope is that once I start reading, I never stop again. Not because of numbers or a huge bookshelf, but it keeps my mind growing and alive. From the beginning, I always wanted one physical challenge and one mental challenge. On paper, reading a book sounded easy, but I overestimated my current reading habits. Headstand, on the other hand, is something scary and exciting. So now, headstand is my main challenge to build focus and discipline in my body. And the book, on the other hand, is a quieter and secondary challenge to build my mind and my structure for learnings. If I can show up for both, even imperfectly, I will move away from short-term dopamine and random content towards long-term growth and deliberate practice. To be honest, I haven't spent a lot of time imagining failing these challenges. I'm actually quite confident that I can achieve a headstand if I train properly. Given that I'm lighter now and in a better physical place. But I have one fear that I know very well. I tend to start things, do them for about 10 days and then drift away. It happened with books, it happened with learning, and my biggest fear is not that I can't do a headstand. It's that I stop showing up and never start again. That's why I'm sharing this publicly. If I fail to practice consistently, I'll talk about it honestly in front of you. Right now, I don't have some big success story to show you. No perfect after picture. But if there is one thing that I truly believe in, it's this. If I can pick a challenge and show up consistently, you can do the same. Your challenge don't need to be a headstand or a book. Your challenge could be something like 5 minutes of stretching a day, like 1 page of reading per day, and like 10 minutes of practicing something that you're truly curious about. Start small, start clumsy, but start. I have already been preparing my neck, shoulders, and core for about 10 days now. My plan is to share updates like a 10-day progress video, a 1-minute headstand, and eventually a 3-minute headstand if I get there. Along the way, I'll keep learning, trying new skills, and making other educational videos about sharing my ideas, my questions, and my way of looking at the world. My hope is that when you Watch my videos over the next few years. You feel truth, honesty, and a genuine effort to see things clearly and be honest about my own bias. I want you to feel that I'm seeking truth, not just views. Right now, for me, learning means not letting my brain go on autopilot. Courage means turning on the camera and sharing this process before I know how it ends. If you're still there, thank you for watching the beginning of this journey. Maybe it's time for you to start your own learning challenge as well. Thank you.